So the digitalization mandate will certainly take precedence in retail banking, simply because going digital creates data, and data creates value. And this value extends to the customers as much as to the bank. And being able to capture, to originate this data, comes full circle to the whole concept of digitalizing the relationship and digitalizing the experience of the consumer. So let's start with consumer dynamics first. Now, a lot of what we are seeing in the market is how consumers are becoming increasingly digitalized. Based on IDC numbers, we are seeing that the market across the Asia Pacific at this very point in time is constituted of about 5% only digital consumers, meaning these consumers only interact with their formal financial institutions solely through either the mobile or the online form factor. They do not go through the branch. They do not even want human interaction. And this 5% is going to explode by 3 times by the year 2020. So by 2020, we're going to see about 15% of the market. Are banks already equipped to cater to such niche group that is increasingly growing, that's becoming less niche? At this point, no, because there is certainly a gap between their capabilities and their ability to deliver those capabilities across various channels. The branch can do something that the mobile channel could not. This is an issue that has been addressed by the omni-channel mandate, delivering the similar levels of experience across all channels. So it's not just having multi-channel, it's having omni-channel, integrated experience. And this is definitely where retail banks are moving towards. They address this as a problem. And we are seeing some new frontiers being opened up in terms of customer engagement on the digital channel. The nature of retail banking: high cost, low margins. But there is a crucial third aspect there that needs to be addressed. It's high volume. And high volume with enough throughput, you can overcome or offset the cost implications of servicing your retail customers. Now, how do you operate more efficiently? How do you operate more quickly with more value given to the customer at a shorter span of time? All this comes from, of course, innovation, but innovation can take many forms. Banks have addressed throughput traditionally through channel innovation. And this is how we see the channel environment sort of bifurcating towards physical and digital. How they manage this in the back end would be the second step, because it's not just enough for your front end sales consultants, for example, to have a single customer view when they are engaging the customer. It is also important that back end services are as automated as possible, so that it takes less organizational bandwidth to support the individual consumer. And because it's a volumes game through and through, the less cost to service an individual customer, the higher the profit. Then you get to maximize your margins, basically. It's not just about interest rates, it's really about the whole operational workflow. And it's very surprising to see how in the emerging ASEAN nations, how banks are really quick to address that it is the latter, that fintech are potential collaborators, not competitors. If you look at the Malaysian market, for instance, the top 4 banks, Maybank, CIMB, Hong Leong, RHB, all have done startup acceleration programs with fintech collaborators. And what we are seeing is what exactly is the business case between the banks and the fintech? Who gets what out of the relationship? And it is quite easy to discern that the bank would give IP and branding to the fintech. The fintech has a third platform culture. They are conceived on a third platform, meaning they operate more efficiently, they do not have a legacy to contend with, and essentially they can develop whatever solutions at a more cost-effective manner. Combining the both, you get really the best of both worlds. And the fintech would need the bank's branding to become a credible solution. The bank needs the fintech's capability in cost-optimized operations to essentially come up with financial solutions. It's a win-win for both, and definitely a precedent that we would see emulated across the rest of Asia.